Alright, guys. We have the League Championship Series starting tomorrow for the NL, and then on Friday we kick things off with the AL. So, what do I think? First of all, let's talk about the divisional round series leading into the League Championship Series. In the NL, obviously the Phillies advanced, and I thought they played solid. I was a little surprised that they lost that game too with Cole Hamels, and really I don't think Cole Hamels played that pitch that well. But the Rockies were obviously a team that a lot of people were riding this postseason because they were showing hard. They had that good comeback at the end of the year, and I really felt like the Phillies were a much better team, and that would end up leading to what you saw, and that's what happened. I mean, I know the Phillies had that really nice comeback in Game 4 to seal the series, but I think at the end of the day, the Phillies just had stronger horses, and they didn't even have to put Pedro out there. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about, though. Game 4 was on Monday. This game's going to be Thursday. So I was saying going into that game that the Phillies should have pitched Pedro and given Cliff Lee the night off so they could have used Cliff Lee for this series, but they decided to go with Cliff Lee, and now I don't think they're going to be able to use him. So what does this do to the rotation? Do you go with Cole Hamels and then go with your number 3, whoever that is, and then go Cliff Lee? I don't know about that. Do you go Cole Hamels, Cliff Lee, number 3, and then just keep going in that order and hope things reset by the World Series? Do you pitch Cliff Lee even though he just pitched Monday? I don't know, but I think Pedro would have been fine in that game, and I think he would have probably won it. So I didn't agree with that, and that could end up hurting them. I mean, if they end up losing the pitching battle in this Phillies Dodgers series, then I'm gonna think they should have gone with Pedro in Game 4. But it's a 7-game series, so that's not going to decide anything. But that was something that I noticed. For the Dodgers, they really took care of the Cardinals like I thought they would. They actually took care of them more than I thought. I mean, they had no problem with it, and leading into the postseason, everybody loved the Cardinals to go to the World Series, and I didn't see it. I kept asking myself, what's good about that Cardinals team? What's so special about them? And they laid an egg against the Dodgers. And, I was actually really confident in the Dodgers winning that series, and they did. They took care of business. So, Phillies-Dodgers, that gives us our matchup. I honestly think the Dodgers might have better bats. I like their bats probably a little better. I think the Phillies have fantastic pitchers. I definitely like their pitchers better than the Dodgers pitchers. But overall, I think the Dodgers might be a better team in terms of talent. But the Phillies, they won last year, and um, I don't know. It's going to be a hell of a series, and I don't know exactly how it's going to go. If I had to throw out a guess, I think the Cliff Lee thing, um, Cliff Lee Pedro thing that I mentioned a couple minutes ago, I think that'll come back to hurt the Phillies. So it could go so many ways. I'm going to say Dodgers in 7. I'm going to say the Dodgers go to the World Series. I think Manny's going to carry them. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling he's going to break out of this little slump he's been in, and I'm going to say Dodgers in 7. Angels, Yankees. First, let's talk about the Angels. They manhandled Boston. I thought the Red Sox would win in a full series, and Anaheim never let it get that far. They pretty much dominated. I mean, there was the choke job by Papelbon in Game 3. Really shutting down the Boston bats, and it was really an uninteresting Boston team. I gotta say, usually I think the Red Sox field an interesting team, but there was just no life to them, and there was really nothing interesting. I just could care less about them, and usually I'm not like that. And the Angels pitching was fantastic with a lot of guys that I don't know too well. I don't know the Angels pitchers all that well actually, and they took care of it. And there was really no question really about that series, and I couldn't tell you too much about that team, but I mean, one of the toughest things to do in sports is to overcome your own mental inhibitions. Like, the Angels have been owned by the Red Sox in the playoffs for so many years in a row that eventually you might just start believing it, and you're just assuming it's going to happen. And if the team starts doing that, you're done. But the Angels decided to put that all behind them, and they went out there and took care of business, and it was great to see. And The Yankees, they pretty much did what a lot of people thought they would against the Twins. I thought the Twins would win one game, but the Yankees' third pitcher, I can't remember his name, I think it's Pavano, came out, pitched a nice game, and the Yankees got the win. Uh, Rodriguez was good. Teixeira had some good hits, especially the game winner in game two, I think it was. And they're clicking, and it's really looking like right now they're going to break that 9-year curse or whatever you want to call it. So there's just something different about them. I mean, in past years, I mean, going into the postseason, I thought to myself, well, these Yankees are trusting guys like AJ Burnett and Carlos Pavano, or Carl Pavano, or whatever his name is, and I think those guys are going to explode in the postseason. And, even the same for, like, CC Sabathia. I don't really trust him that much, but those guys, they didn't blow up. They took care of their business in the first round, and really looking at this series against the Angels, it's feeling. I just think the Angels may not have the horses. It, it's possible that the Yankees are just jacking with us and might end up falling apart like they have so many times recently, but I think there's something different about this Yankees team, so I'm going to bite. I'm going to say Yankees in 5. I think the Yankees win in 5, and we get a Dodgers-Yankees World Series, which that would be awesome for many reasons. I would be very interested in that World Series, and I really all the potential matchups are interesting one way or another. But I am not rooting for anybody. Honestly, I could go any way with this World Series matchup. But predictions: Dodgers in 7, Yankees in 5, and that'll give you your World Series. That's my best shot. So I'm out. See you later.